Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, you know him so well. He's your 2019 Mr. Olympia, 2019 Arnold Classic champion. He's the owner of 015 Nutrition. He's the owner of two awesome carbon culture gyms in Franklin, Tennessee and Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now in Kuwait training for the 2022 Arnold Classic. Please welcome Brandon Curry. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Had a good intro? Yeah, okay.
That sounds great to me, man. It sounds like a hit.
Also need to tell the viewers right up front, if you like the video, give it a like, because apparently YouTube only cares about likes now. Did you know that, Brandon? It's a new thing. They change their mind all the time.
Yeah, I heard they don't like dislikes too much. So,
Before we get into current events, I haven't talked to you since, before the Olympia last year. Yeah, it's been a long time. And I never really got your take on it. I know it's ancient history at this point, but Friday night, you were a point ahead of Rami. A lot of people had you winning, including me. It's a matter of this, it's a matter of opinion in the sport. What kind of physique do you like better? A lot of people like your physique better than they liked Rami's. In the end, Rami got his second win, but did it make you feel good to know that a large percentage of people out there, fans, media people, preferred you for the win?
This sport is all about the fans for me, man, and that's what keeps us really driven and active in the sport. And without the fans, we would be nothing. So definitely, that makes me feel definitely brings some gratification to the hard work that you put in, for sure. So yeah, the fans are everything, man, and for them to support me and some of this, I've had so much support since then. So, and feeling the love and everybody rooting for me, man, it's a great impact, man. It's pretty much like winning in a sense. So.
Yeah. I'm just curious, did you ever get any feedback from the judges? Because it was so close. Did they give you any suggestions? Like what do they want to see from you in 2022 to get your title back?
Plead the fifth. I'm kidding. Nah.
Okay, fair enough.
Nah, we didn't discuss any details. A lot of judges supportive and everything, and I talked to them, and we discussed any details. But they were, they know I brought an improved package to the stage, and it was a close race. But I just got to do more of the same. So every time I show up on stage, I try to bring a different package, an improved package in some way, some form of fashion. And that's my job. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm gonna do for the next show, the next outing. So,
good answer. So we're a few weeks away now from the 2022 Arnold Classic. You have not been on that stage in Columbus, Ohio since 2019, and that was a great year for you. That was a great show for you. A lot of people felt you looked better there than the Olympia a few months later. A lot of people think that's the best they've seen you. The package was just crisp, full, round, just an amazing package you brought to the Arnold. Do you think that was the best look you've had on stage so far, or is there another show that you prefer?
I think it was a combination of all the variables, including the ones that I'm in control of and outside of me, that made that package great. Because I know the lighting on the stage, some of the camera work there was excellent. That just enhanced the package that I brought, and let the fans enjoy that package a little bit more. When looking back and reminiscing on that production, it was well done that year, and I brought a look that just magnified the work that they did to bring such a great production. So yeah, always be iconic. Is it my best? I don't actually know, because the conditions have not been quite the same, but I think I've brought some looks that have been pretty close in conditioning. Yeah. But sometimes I've also brought some fuller looks, which sometimes I prefer. This just depends on the matchups.
Yeah, I mean, now that your main opponent, the guy you got to take out is Rami, and conditioning has never been spectacular on Rami. Let's be honest, but big and full. I mean, it's in his name, big. Do you intentionally bring a fuller look to the Olympia, knowing that that's the guy you got to take out?
Yeah, that's exactly what we pretty much did in last year. We bought a fuller package knowing we're going to compete against Rami. So I was substantially heavier than I was the previous year on stage. And I can't remember exactly the details. My coach knows exactly, but yeah, we just brought it to the stage, just a little bit heavier, knowing that Robbie was the champ, and we had to respect the big man and bring a bigger package.
Yeah, roughly you're 5'8", correct?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think, you're about 260 at the last Olympia?
Nah, I'm not that heavy, man. I was probably like 247, I think.
Honesty, I love it. Okay. Okay, so that's all the past history stuff. Let's move on. You haven't done the Arnold Classic since 2019. You skipped it in 2020, which you were focusing on Olympia. 2021, it was held much later in the year, so I could kind of see it. Why come back to it this year? What made you return?
Well, being that they just had the Arnold and I got asked to do that one, and I kind of rejected that one.
Yeah.
It made me consider the new date that they would have in March. And then figuring out that the Olympia was going to be in December, that's just a huge window not to compete.
Right.
And I just, I figured I would talk to the Arnold and see what they had in mind. And I feel like I was motivated to be able to, my body was healthy enough to be able to go back and turn around and come to Kuwait and prepare again. So I decided, why not? Why not? It's just later in my career. If I could set this year up, winning the Arnold is going to definitely give me momentum going into the Olympia.
Yeah.
And then I could have the opportunity to set a record and break some history here by winning the Arnold and Olympia twice, which no one has ever done in the same done before in the same year. So
let's do it. Come on, make it happen. Yeah. I mean, I was secretly hoping last year, because the Arnold was only 2 weeks away from the Olympia, that you and a few more of the top guys were going to jump into it. I understand that you had to focus on the Olympia and the traveling and everything, but man, I was really hoping you were going to be in that one. Would have been a better show with you in it, obviously.
Definitely would have. We just didn't know what with the Arnold being moved and being in a different position, we just didn't really know, what to expect for the event that year. So we just didn't really want to take the risk that year. Looking back, it would have been a good risk to take, but we live and we learn.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we got a great Arnold lineup this year, incredible lineup. Not to piss anyone else in the lineup off, but I sort of see this one coming down to you and Bonac again, just like it did in 2019. You're the two top ranked guys in the world that are in the show. And, he's the only one I've seen at that event push you a few years ago. Do you even think about the other guys as far as this might be my strongest competitor, or you just focus on yourself?
When it comes to my preparation, I'm focusing on me. When it comes to the other guys, I'm just looking forward to seeing them, camaraderie, just being around the fellas and competing against them. We're used to competition. That's what brings us together. So as far as we always try to beat each other. It's just in the back of our mind. So I don't have to focus too much on that. That's just automatic. I'm there to do work. So but I'm also there to enjoy myself. And it's always good to see the fellas. It's always good to get to know some of the newer guys and be backstage and be blessed enough to be competing again. So I look at it as a positive, and I try not to put too much pressure on, like I'm going to war or anything like that, because it's not life or death. But it's a career. We're having fun, and we're just trying to bring the best package and let the judges make the decisions.
It's funny how the old time guys say there's no camaraderie anymore, but I see plenty of camaraderie. I see you guys talking to each other on. They didn't have social media back then, so they couldn't talk that way, obviously. But I see you guys commenting on each other's posts and videos, and at the shows, you're all friendly and stuff. I think it's sort of a misconception that's been spread that there's no camaraderie. I think you guys are a big family still, no matter, at the end of the day.
Yes, it's a different kind of probably camaraderie than they had back in the day, because they used to do the tours together and travel together a lot. And I've experienced some of that because I kind of crossed over in eras, so I kind of know what they're talking about. I know the difference that they're talking about.
Yeah.
But me and guys like William, we come up together, man, and William has pushed me. He's just been a motivating factor for me, and just been really supportive in some of my my struggling times doing bodybuilding. So we're definitely good friends, and I just look to being that we're all brothers in iron. I just look to relate to the guys, and just I'm not there to just be better than anybody else. I'm just there to share the experience with everybody else, and get to know guys and just make them feel comfortable, and just let them know I'm glad that we all pushing this sport, and everybody's coming to see us, and we're all selling tickets. It's I think sometimes people think they take it too serious, and we know the fans, they have their opinions, and they go have their drama online and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's all respect.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the fans try to start drama. I'm sure you're aware of that, because it's not the most exciting sport in the world. Nobody's getting touchdowns, nobody's knocking each other out or anything. So they kind of have to, I don't know, embellish things. And as long as they don't start feuds and lie about that, that's fine. As long as it's all good. So you left Tennessee, I believe. Did you leave Tennessee on Christmas Eve morning to go to Kuwait?
That's probably when I left New York.
Oh, geez.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I left because I was supposed to fly to New York, um, and then fly directly to Kuwait, and then due to all the loopholes and all the mandates and everything we got to go through,
Yeah.
my test was not necessarily on time.
No.
So since my PCR test was not on time, they wouldn't let me on the plane. So I had to stay in New York for a couple of days. Fortunately, shout out to Steve.
Yeah.
Shout out to Juan and his wife and just make me feel at home while I've been in New York. And so I had spent a couple of days there and trained and well taken care of. But it's just one of those hiccups that you experience when you're traveling, and I've experienced a lot of hiccups traveling. So yeah, that put me a little bit behind schedule and getting to Kuwait, but it's not a big thing.
I had a feeling something that you got stuck in New York because I didn't think you would have a layover long enough to go from like LaGuardia or wherever you flew to Long Island to train and then go back. That would have been one hell of a layover, like a 10-hour layover. So yeah, but you left before Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I know that's got to be tough because you got 4 kids and your wife back home. Is this the first time you've had to miss like Christmas with your family in a while?
Nah, not at all, not at all. Being a prepper in Kuwait, over the years I missed plenty of holidays, so it's not something that they're not used to. So they know. So it's important, getting together and stuff with family and, celebrating. But, I'm home and we kind of get together. We do things. I think I bought one of my boys a bike because he needed one. He was just getting too big for his other one. Yeah. And then I ended up turning around and buying all the boys a bike.
Oh, wow.
Just because it wasn't even Christmas. It was like before Christmas. So, I'm always, give my kids stuff. So they're not really, missing all the toys, and mom's always there to take care of them. So it's just being there, sentimental value and all that kind of stuff is sometimes kind of hard, but I'm in this, and I'm mentally prepared for what I got to do. So it doesn't affect me probably as much as some people may think it would, but it's just I'm just blessed enough to be able to have an opportunity to provide for them and be able to take care of them in this sport that I've been so passionate about and love. So it's just a part. It just comes with it, the territory, unfortunately.
Of course, but I bet you still know exactly what time it is at home all the time, and you probably have a rough idea what everybody's doing based on their normal schedules. Like right now, Brandy's taking so and so to this practice. Right now, she's at her bowling league.
Yeah, we're always checking in. This morning when they got up, sometimes I figure what day it is because I don't know what day of the week is. So I'm like, oh, what the kids going to school? She's like, no, baby, it's Saturday. I'm like, oh, shoot, because my days run together when I'm here. Yeah, so I woke up this morning. They were like the only school in the county to go to school today. Oh, wow. So she was getting them ready and stuff. So everybody's out because of snow. So.
Oh, it snowed down in Tennessee? I think
it didn't really do nothing, actually. It did the day before, the couple of days before. It was kind of bad, but they was expecting, because of the lower temperature, some of that stuff to freeze back over. And they could have went to school. They really, it would have been all right.
Yeah, I mean, up in my area, unless you get like at least 6 inches of snow, you're going to school. But,
yeah, I know how to deal with it though. So in Tennessee, everybody panics and don't nobody know how to drive. Everybody goes to the grocery stores and buys all the milk and the bread. I don't know why milk and bread. I don't know, but
why do we all think the world was going to run out of toilet paper when COVID first started? Everybody was buying toilet paper like there was not going to be any more toilet paper available. Come on now, you're ridiculous.
Hey, people, the throne is important. They want to be clean.
I mean, I can understand for people like us that eat 5-6 times a day, even more so. But, so let's switch gears to Oxygen Gym in Kuwait. Now, this is a place that it's been your training headquarters, your prepping headquarters for a few years now. In fact, I'd go so far as to say I don't think I'd be talking to you right now as a Mr. Olympia and Arnold Classic champion if you had never gone to Kuwait. I just saw the improvements you made when you went over there that first time, 25 pounds of muscle from the fall of 2016 into spring of 2017. So I want to know, what was your reaction? How did you feel when you heard a couple of people like Rami and Regan Grimes saying things like, they make me do stuff I don't want to do, or they're holding me hostage, I can't go home? I know some of it sounded absolutely ludicrous about obviously they're going to let you go home, but did this hurt you to hear that about a place in a body there, and these people have been so good to you, and you've had such success there and so many good times?
Well, yeah, the internet is it's a lot of sensationalism, because it's how you get likes, and that's how you get, people following your information. So they got to make it a little juicy, right?
Right.
So, Regan was my roommate, so I was here when he first got to Kuwait and prepped, and he was here, he was making his adjustments. It was definitely hard. I know the training was, just definitely brutal on him. So I was trying to encourage him to make the adjustments, and then I ended up leaving, and he ended up remaining for, I guess, the holiday portion, which he did not stay. But I'll be honest, Abdullah had a feeling that he wasn't going to come back, because I talked to him on the phone. So he was dealing with some other issues. He had some other influences that was kind of, kind of tearing him away from him being here. And then and then they were worried about his weight, because he jumped up pretty much about 300 pounds. And, and then the Dallas thing, made some people scared, some people in his camp scared and stuff like that. So, so it's nobody was holding him hostage, but I do understand what he means about, being around in certain areas and nobody communicate with you and everybody speaking Arabic and stuff like that. That's something you got to get used to, because if no one's talking to you, then they don't have to speak English, right? I mean, that's just how it is. They speak to each other in Arabic, and if they're talking to you, they'll speak English. But if they're talking to each other, they may not be speaking English. So you got to get used to that. But it's not a big deal. I've gotten used to it, and I don't take it personal. And it's just a part of being in another culture, another place. So there's some adjustments to be made, but it's definitely not terrible, and it's definitely place you can get your work in, and everybody's fully taken care of. So I don't know about all the drama and all the stories and stuff like that. I know Rami was really taken care of when he was here. So I mean, he was really taken care of when he was here, so I don't know what that's all about. But everybody has their reasons, and when things don't go certain ways, people complain, and people make excuses. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could remember. I don't think it was you, but somebody I was talking to who had been there many, many times. So it couldn't have been that many other people. They were saying, you could always get a feel for when somebody wasn't going to last long there, because it's like training camp. It's like boot camp. It's just eat, train, sleep, repeat, and nothing else. And, you're away from friends, family. It's a different culture, different language. Some people can say, well, this is what I need to do to get where I want to go. And other people, they say, this is too much. I got to go home. Do you get a sense, because you've been there, gosh, how many times? 10 times now? Probably?
Yeah, it's 4 years now. 4 years. Yeah.
I mean, do you get a sense when people arrive for the first time, after a couple of days, you get a sense like, this guy's got it. He's got to stick with it, and he's going to do everything and make the improvements?
It's around that 2-week mark that you find guys they may mentally break down. If they can survive that 2-week mark and get over that hump, then they're normally pretty good. But that 2-week mark is, approaching that mark is kind of hard on these guys psychologically, because, they're away from everything. They've been pushed to the limit, and they got to question, whether they want to do this or not. So or is it worth it or not for them? So, if they can survive that, they're good. I mean, but it's a mental battle. Just getting out of your comfort zone, and just being push hard, to get to where you want to go. And it's probably not the most nurturing place, but you definitely have everything you need.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think it's possible to train as hard on your own as you would with a really good trainer like Abdullah or Ahmad Askar pushing you. And that goes for any really good trainer, Charles Glass. Nobody can train as hard on their own. I don't care who you are, because you're not expecting what they're going to throw at you. Another thing is the eating. I'm sure in a case where someone like Regan that needed size, they were having him eat more than he was comfortable with, and that probably goes for a lot of the guys that go there. And many people have said that's the hardest thing, is the eating. They have a hard time. It's physically uncomfortable getting all that food down. and it's part of the process that needs to be done. But some people, that level of discomfort, it's just too much. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, adjusting to the food, man, maybe because it's your responsibility. You have all day. You got to get your meals in, and it seems like some points until you adjust, you like eating all day, and you're full. You still got to eat. So I can understand that psychology or that struggle. But at the end of the day, you eventually make the adjustments, and the coach is making the adjustment, and that miserable phase often makes the diet phase easier, in my opinion. So I'd rather deal with that. So the dieting phase, I'm eating more doing a diet, and I'm not suffering as hard doing the diet because I push the food up earlier. So it's normally how I think about it. But it's all psychology, and it's all about thinking about it in the right perspective. And and the last thing you want to do around here is feel sorry for yourself, because nobody's really going to care. So
I can't imagine them like cuddling you and saying it's going to be okay. I don't think.
I mean, this is a male-dominated society. You're going to be lucky if you see a woman on a daily basis. You'll see walking around, maybe see women on a daily basis. But there's a bunch of men around here. They ain't gonna cuddle you and all that kind of stuff. It's not gonna happen.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this before, but there are no women who train at Oxygen Gym. It's all male, and I don't know how I'd feel about that. On one hand, I'd be bummed just because I like the visual distraction sometimes, because we're all men and we like to see that. But at the same time, it is a distraction, and sometimes it's hard to maintain focus. Especially, I'm sure they wouldn't dress in Kuwait the way they do here in the U.S. It's
right.
half naked with the little bellies hanging out and those yoga pants. So you wouldn't see that. But do you feel you're able to train better with we're both married men. We're not saying we're like ogling women or anything, but they're around. You can't help but see them in the corner of your eye. Are you able to focus more 100% on your training without any of that?
Yeah, of course. Any distractions in the gym, anything can be a distraction. And then women can definitely be a distraction, and even if you're not even paying attention, you look over, exhausted, or you're in this pain state trying to recover between sets, and before you know it, you're staring at something, and it's walking through the gym. It's just how it is. It's just the gym atmosphere when they have those distractions around. So me right now, when I'm training with Ahmed Al-Naki, who's been doing my training programs here since last year and this year. It's just me and him, me and him zoned in, and my mind doesn't really go anywhere else, but just what we got to do.
Right, fair enough. So let's talk about your businesses, your gyms. First of all, I've been to both of them. They're spectacular. How are the gyms doing?
Gyms are doing great. We had a transition with the Borough Gym this year, but it's been doing great. I mean, I think it was like, let's see, it happened in the beginning of the year, and we picked up, I think it was 100 members in a couple months, which was like crazy. And I know the gym is doing really, really good now because it's January, and everybody's in the mix. So it's very happy. We got some other projects that we're talking about expanding on. So it's just going well. It's good that it's good to be in the green on some of the businesses, and seeing your hard work and everything. Just kind of supporting itself. So it's always good. It's always good.
Right. Now the hat is 015. That's your supplement, your nutrition supplementation company. I'm such a moron. I was thinking, is that from 02? And I'm like, you idiot, because he's the 15th Mr. Olympia.
Yes, that's right. Anyway, you're right. You got it. You got it, man.
If I couldn't figure that out, I'd be pretty useless. But give people a real brief history of how the company started and how it's doing now.
Well, we started during the pandemic. It would happen basically. Mark Lobliner is, of course, one of my partners, and he's with Tiger Fitness, and they do supplement distribution, the largest online supplement distribution online. So basically, they moved to Tennessee, and they moved to Tennessee, and I knew they were moving, and so I welcomed them to Tennessee, and next thing I know, I got a big box of outright bars at the office. So I'm like, okay. So we got to, families got to know each other, and over the pandemic, my daughter was practicing for soccer with some professional soccer players that were stuck in the country because they couldn't go where they needed to go. So we would meet in Nashville, and they would practice and whatnot. And we invited Mark's daughter, Cammy would come out. And so the wives would get together. They would basically probably transport the kids, and they would get together, walk and talk. And eventually they got to discussing, my contract and stuff with SciTech, and then they got to talking business, and and then they talked about potentially getting the company started together. And then me and Mark were brought to the table. We talked about it as well, and here we go. We had a project that we had a date and a destination to get this thing launched by the Olympia in 2020. And so we had launched in Olympia 2020, and we kind of had a little booth at that Olympia, even though it wasn't a large expo, and kind of introduced the brand, and we came out with the Big O bars first, and of course they were a big hit. Everybody likes the Big O bars, which is just basically the high calorie protein bars, for those guys that are bigger and want to, kind of like somewhat of a meal replacement, a healthy meal replacement without all the preservatives, without all artificial sweeteners, tearing up your stomach and nothing like that. Something that's real easy to eat. So we put that together and came up with some flavors, and that went really well. And then we worked on formulating the rest of the line. Mark was like, what do you like to do? What do you like to taste? What tastes do you like? And so I basically threw a bunch of ideas out there. We put a bunch of ideas together. We came up with some formulations and, tested flavors. I was testing flavors and doing the Olympia prep. Before I left for Kuwait, I was testing like different products. So just to figure out, what we liked. So we got what we liked together, and it's been going very, very good, considering that we haven't been able to go maybe international as quick as we wanted to because of the COVID situation. So, but it took us 11 months to kind of, break into the green. So it's not too bad for a company. So we're very, very happy with that. And we continue to, we'll basically come see us at the Arnold. We'll be there as well. So, we just basically expanding the brand, trying to make good quality products that I take and I use on a regular basis to the market. So a brand you can trust by a bodybuilder who, what does a bodybuilder take? What does a bodybuilder use? 015 Nutrition, we got everything that I would take, I would use, whether it's off season, whether it's in season, for recovery, for gut health. Happy Guts is one of our big products.
Happy Guts.
Biome in it. Yeah, Happy Guts, man. Happy Guts. Yeah, we got Happy Guts is a probiotic formula, which has core biome, which we were one of the only supplement companies that sources core biome, which is very, very good for the gut microbiome. So, I know eating a lot of protein and digestion is a big part of health. So with me, I like my digestion to be smooth, and I don't necessarily eat a lot of vegetables. Who does? So Happy Guts is really coming to clutch, and for a lot of people that I've talked to, is really coming to clutch for them. So, health products, performance products, whatever it may be, the line is great, from Intra Workout, Intra Advantage, which is basically my Intra with the EAA formula, carbohydrates fast and slow. And then we have Exalt, which is my stimulant-based pre-workout, and then Expansion, which is my non-stimulant pump formula. So it's just a complete line. And then they can't forget about Big Hydro as well, which is whey hydroxylate, which is basically enhanced with Velocitol for protein absorption for post-workout recovery. So we just basically try to, take some solid structural protein supplements that we know are tried and tested and proven, and just, put our little tweaks on them, enhance them, and make sure we come up with some great flavors.
Yeah. What's your favorite flavor for the Big O bar?
Well,
good question.
my idea with the Big O bar was well, my wife's idea was the fruit cereal, and my idea. No, sorry, I got that wrong. My idea was the fruit cereal because I liked Fruity Pebbles growing up. Okay, so Fruity Pebbles was my thing, and fruit cereal, I was like, and I want something like Fruity Pebbles, so fruit cereal was my thing. Now my wife, her idea was birthday cake. So I've talked to different retailers, and some of them say that mine sell better, but they like my wife. Someone say my wife sell better, but they like mine. And then we have chocolate fudge, which is a good change up for me, because sometimes you need that chocolate fix. So that chocolate fudge is often a good change up for me. And the thing about these, they digest really quickly. They got the MCT oil in them, and they got the hydrolyzed whey as well. So they digest really, really quickly. And, you know, you eat one, you'll be satisfied for a minute, but then you can eat again. And that's what I'm all about. You know, get about around 500 calories, you know, a little bit under 500 calories per bar. So, you know, they ain't playing. They definitely get you what you need.
That is a big old bar. Jeez. If you could only have 3 of your own products with you in Kuwait for whatever reason, which 3 would you choose?
Well, in prep right now, let's see. Let's see. We'll do Entry Advantage.
Yep.
Let's see what I got around me right now. Since I do,
it's a good indication of which ones you treasure the most.
got to go in the gym bag here.
Okay.
And then Expansion.
That's a pump product,
which is the non-stim pump formula.
Okay, I like that.
And then I would say Happy Guts. Definitely. I'm not a stimulant guy, so I don't have to take stimulants all the time. But the Happy Guts, definitely for digestion. I think that'd be the top 3 for me when I'm here in prep. I stay away from the big old bars when I'm here in prep because I don't need the extra calories. But when I'm off season and trying to put it on, or if I'm early in the prep here and I'm trying to put on some weight, they'll come in handy. And then for travel, they've been the best thing for travel. Been the best thing. Been a lifesaver for travel. So
yeah. So the Olympia was just it was October. It was a little later. Yeah. So you didn't have a whole lot of time to sort of rest from that before you had to start this prep. But at the stage you're at, you know, some guys say, well, I need this much time for an off season. Do you really need much of like an off season time? Because what are you still really trying to improve on physique wise?
Well, you know, my first prep out here in Kuwait was 11 weeks. and you know the changes that we made in 11 weeks. So
yeah, wow.
when I'm here and I'm zoned in, we can really make some changes fast. And right now, I feel like I'm just now hitting my stride. I've been here for about 3 weeks is going on, maybe the 4th week. And I'm just feel like kind of hitting my stride. I had a guy come up to me just tonight, and when I was training, and he had just taken a video of me last week, and just for us as we was doing the set, and he said, man, he said, your body is completely different from last week. Huh. So I'm like, you're so much bigger and you're leaner. I'm like, yeah, but that's what we do. That's what we do. So we come here and my body just kind of change it, put it to the test, push it. And, I put on the size and I get leaner at the same time. So it makes that prep time, that prep window, me prepping a little bit smaller. And being that, we're not necessarily pushing any size for the Arnold or anything like that. We don't have to, be an extended off season or anything like that, because we just kind of bring in a refined, well-conditioned package, something we can think to win the show, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel, coming into this prep. So yes, that makes it where you can, get away with shorter preparation. I don't always advise that for everybody, but my body, it's been able to do it, and while it's been able to do it, I'm gonna take advantage of it. So.
I've noticed you don't really blow up in the off season and try to get, like a Michelin man or anything. Was that just out of health concern, just because you don't enjoy being cooked? Because now obviously I think everybody's a little more concerned about their health. And I don't think as many people are going to be pushing for 350 pounds as they might have in the past. Do you do that? Do you keep your weight down for portions of the year, mainly for health reasons, or why?
Yeah, I mean, being that we can do so much when I'm here, I don't feel like I need to, walk around all year uncomfortable. I just don't really like it, to be honest. I mean, I just don't like walking around breathing heavy, having a hard time putting on my shoes. It's just that's the worst thing. And then, I don't like losing 40 pounds, get ready for a show or nothing like that. I don't think it's necessary. If I can be similar size and not have to put on all that weight and lose all that water. So over the years, I found it, it's not necessarily productive. Sometimes you do need to put on the extra weight when you want to bring a new look, and we'll take some time for the preparation at the Olympia going against Rami to put on some extra weight. But for health reasons and being conscious of health and lifestyle and just dealing with the family and not being miserable all the time and being on a extensive eating schedule when I'm home, just to kind of keep that weight up. It's just not something I want to do this late in my career, all the time,
Yeah, perfect. Just a couple more questions. So your legs are good. If your upper body wasn't so incredible, I don't think anyone would have ever said anything about your legs. What have you done? They have been coming up over the past couple of years. What have you found were the keys for you, especially as a very, very advanced trainer who's already at a level most people will never approach? What have been the keys to getting your legs bigger and improved over the last couple of years?
Well, it's it's basically just, still just continuing to try to connect with the muscle, still continuing to, understand when I'm not here in Kuwait, what I need to be doing to really, really put in the work to make changes to the muscle. So one of the things when I'm back home, I may let other areas of my training kind of slack. My leg training is always, trying to be pushed and trying to get better in that fashion because I know I need it. And I may not even train everything as much as I would train in my legs when I'm home or I'm not here, because I know what I need. So it's just basically, put the focus there. I also focus on knee health, making sure my knees stay healthy, because I know if my knees and my joints are not healthy, then it's going to really, really affect my training and affect my progress and my ability to make gains. Another thing I've been using is just ironic it's sitting here, but since it is sitting here, I'll mention it. See, I'll kick my wires. Is the new X. I don't know if you see that, the new X.
Is that the newbie thing?
Yeah, it's the new X. So new X is a company similar to new X. It's just a more portable device. You can carry it around in the gym. So I use that as my therapy, pre-post activation, use it during training, especially when I'm back home, but I also use it for recovery. So that kind of gets those, kind of wakes up some of those fibers, some of those dormant fibers that, may not be activating. And I think over time, being able to activate more of those fibers, being able to break them down, definitely leads to more progress, more muscle gains over time. So just working on all those cylinders as an old man, you gotta make sure, you stay healthy, you're doing, hitting it from every angle. And,
Like 40? You're not that old.
I'll be 40 this year.
Yeah, geez, you're still a young man. Yeah, I was gonna say, you personally stocked the Carbon Culture Murfreesboro with some of the best collection of leg equipment I've seen in a while. I wanted to take some of that crap home with me. It would look so good. That's where you're training most times, the Murfreesboro one, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's not too far away from my house, so and my office is there as well. So it's my little hangout. So
Last question for you. This morning on Instagram, it was morning here, it's probably afternoon for you. You posted a picture of your 2019 Arnold win. You're on stage with your family and the trophy and all that. And you said, you talked about you've learned a lot since that show. It has been almost 3 years. What are some of the main things that you have learned since then?
Man, it's a lot of it is learning about the body. Learning about about human nature in a sense, because before that, that's kind of marks the sense of the success. Everything starts going a certain direction, and a lot of attention is geared towards you. So it's about learning about human nature, learning about dealing with social media, because ups and downs. So you go up, and then all of a sudden you don't do as well. You go down. Yeah. And then knowing about the expectations of other people and the expectations of yourself. So I'm just dealing with the psychology of bodybuilding, being on top, being a champ, being able to reflect on being at the bottom. It kind of keeps you at the right headspace. So when it comes to, people ask me, how do you handle, adversity, not winning, not, being so close, maybe should have winning and not, how do you do it? I don't have expectations that I shouldn't have. That's the worst thing you can do. I'm almost a victim of that, having expectations that I shouldn't have. It almost got me, but at the Olympia, I made sure that I didn't have expectations that I shouldn't have without the proper evidence for having those expectations. So, I saw some things and I kind of got my mind on winning and getting it. And then I was like, nope, this is bodybuilding, man. You got to make sure you keep your head in the right space, because you don't want to have these expectations and then have them crushed. So just having the right perspective about things, about competition, about people around you, and then being able to enjoy it. Because I think my mindset at the Arnold that year, I learned to really, really embrace competition with myself, and the mental process with myself, and not really nothing about anything dependent upon anybody else. It was just internal, drive to be better, perform better, and just to give the fans something, that they can appreciate. So I think learning how to compete over time is very valuable as well, and just learning to do it at a successful level, which I've had to do over the years since being on that stage, has been incredible. And then over the years, I've also learned to appreciate normal life off the stage. Just being away, being here for such extended periods of time allows me to, when I'm home, to just be able to just appreciate the life I can live normally, and not obsessive with getting ready for a show. So I've learned so much, man. If you want to be more specific, I can pull it out and I can maybe elaborate. But man, I've learned so much, and I continue to learn because that's what we do.
Yeah, perfect, man. Well, that wraps it up, man. That is great. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm glad you decided to do the Arnold. These titles are there to be won. Why would you let somebody else win that if you could have won it? And you could still go on and do just what you did 3 years ago. Go win the Olympia. It's not gonna interfere. I think, I like to see you guys compete in as many of these big shows as you can, as you feel as you want to. It's good for everybody. It's good for the sport. It's good for the fans. We love to see the best of the best as often as we can. So very, very glad you're doing this, Arnold. Looking forward to seeing you up there again. Good luck with all your training, prepping, 015 nutrition, the Carbon Culture USA gyms. You got a lot going on. Wife, 4 kids. Whew, it's a very full life you live in, Brandon Curry, but I thank you for taking the time.
No problem. And look for a new brand drop this year as well. We're working on another project as well, Aloha O, which is a vitamin water. So hopefully in 2020 we'll have that on the market if all these other issues, supply chain and all this kind of stuff is not affecting our business. So look out for that. We appreciate you guys for the support and everything that we do. We're just trying to bring good things to the market, and give back and good things to the market, and just we appreciate the love and we appreciate the following, and I got mouths to feed, of course.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Aloha O. That had to be Brandy's idea. She's Hawaiian.
Aloha O vitamin water. That's alkaline vitamin water. So we came up with the idea. She's from Hawaii, and some of our partners, of course, in this project are from there too. And the O, of course, is dealing with me. But so
That's cool. I like
and
that.
of course I formulated it. So it's a real vitamin water. It just doesn't have a few vitamins on the label and call itself a vitamin water. So
that's the crap that I buy. All right, cool. Well, again, thank you for the time, everybody. Thanks for watching this Ronline Report with Mr. Olympia and Arnold Classic champion Brandon Curry. Please like the videos, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.